Secretary of Defense Cabinet nominee Pete Hegseth has put his foot straight in a bear trap this morning. And I'm going to tell you about it in this breaking story, because when you look at someone's history in their life, that old cliche of once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, but 3 times is a pattern. And Donald Trump's cabinet pick for Secretary of Defense has a pattern. And the truth of the matter is, we're not even in December yet. And Trump himself has the same problem with at least 3 of his cabinet picks, which are becoming a problem. And in this breaking story, Pete Hegseth, former Fox News guy and former military guy, is simply going to find himself in enough hot water, it may kill his confirmation. And if you're not clear on a little bit about this guy, take a look at this.
Here's some of what he has said over the years on Fox and on social media, where he hawks so-called anti-woke products.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, 1995, let's just make those the standards.
I have friends who've texted me who are not very political saying, I'm coming to Washington, D.C. today because I can't handle what's happening in my country.
These folks on the lawn, and there were more than I'd ever seen, these are not conspiracy theorists motivated just by lies. That's a bunch of nonsense that people want to tell us. These are people that understand first principles. They love freedom and they love free markets.
I'm reminded about the hole that was on my wall when I got rid of my Harvard degree. Thankfully, I replaced it with an honorary gunsmithing program degree from the Pennsylvania Gunsmith School.
I don't think I've washed my hands for 10 years. Really, I don't really wash my hands ever.
Help me!
No, I inoculate myself. It's just not, germs are not a real thing. I can't see them, therefore they're not real.
So you're totally anti-woke. They're not going for any of that garbage. Hey, I need to show you their product one more time. It's a grenade.
Granted, a tough, well-trained man from the military having sexual allegations against him isn't particularly uncommon, unfortunately. But to have that person be the Secretary of the Defense of the United States of America? Well, in this breaking story, just a few days ago and over the course of the last week or so, it's just been a little more hearsay than it has been concrete. But in this breaking story, that has just changed. And my question is, my goodness, we're not even to December yet. How many reports, how many stories, how many things is the Trump campaign going to have to try and bury and try and pull away from the American public regarding his cabinet picks? Because when it comes to Pete Hegseth, this is what just happened today.
Kyung, what more are you learning about this investigation into Pete Hegseth there in California?
Well, this does date back, Brianna, to 2017, and it took place, this alleged assault took place about 90 minutes from where I'm standing here in the city of San Francisco in Monterey, California. What we have learned from the city of Monterey is that its police force did investigate that, quote, alleged sexual assault involving Pete Hegseth. They do not specifically, in their news release, state that Hegseth is the alleged assailant, but it does go on to say these details, that this alleged incident occurred in the early morning hours of October 8th, 2017 at the Hyatt in Monterey, and that this was reported to local authorities, to the police department in Monterey, 4 days after this alleged incident occurred. I want you to take a look at this picture from Facebook, and this comes from the organization, the California Federation of Republican Women. You can see there that Hegseth is standing at a podium. Those pictures confirm that he was indeed a speaker at their conference at that hotel. Now, there is also, in the news release that we got from the city of Monterey, an unnamed victim. And it does cite injuries, although it's not specific as to who was injured. And the injury is described as, quote, contusions to right thigh. We did learn from the city that they do not plan on releasing the full police report. We also did check with the county courts. His name, Pete Hegseth, does not come up as a defendant in any criminal charges dating back from 2017 until today. As far as Hegseth's camp, his lawyer says that, yes, this allegation did exist, but those charges he was never charged, and this is just an allegation that's out there, Brianna.
When you look at the collection of people Trump is trying to put in his cabinet, and you recognize that all of these senators that are Republican are going to line up and find excuses to confirm people like Pete Hegseth, this is how much we're in trouble as a country. And this administration hasn't even started yet. I shouldn't even call them politicians that are going to confirm him. They're just paid puppets. And they're Trump sycophants. And it's unbelievable how much they're going to play the game of Twister to convince themselves to say yes about these people.
Hegseth is someone who's had Donald Trump's ear for a very long time. Washington Post reports this, quote, Hegseth was a key player, for instance, in convincing the then president to intervene in the war crimes cases of 3 U.S. service members in 2019. That effort led to pardons for 2 Army officers, Matthew L. Goldston and Clint Lawrence, in separate murder cases, and a redemption of sorts for Navy SEAL Edward Gallagher, who had seen his rank reduced after a military jury acquitted him of murder charges, but found him guilty of posing for a photograph with a corpse. Using his platform on Fox News, Hegseth lobbied repeatedly on behalf of the 3 men, even as platoon members serving under Lawrence and Gallagher described the killings as cold-blooded and unnecessary. One squad leader in their platoon called it, quote, straight murder.
I don't know that anything will change between now and January 20th. But with people like Pete Hegseth in the White House, we have no idea where we're going to go and how quickly we're going to go there. And I'm all for change. I'm all for disruption. But there are just certain things, like having multiple sexual predators in your cabinet at the same time, probably doesn't sound particularly good. Stay strong. Hang in there. See you soon.